The Maria Sanchez Show, a conversation, not a confrontation, on mariasanchezshow.com. Hi, and welcome to the Maria Sanchez Show. Thank you so much for joining us. We have a two-part podcast today, and it's right up our alley of what we try to do as much as possible, which is inspirational stories, people who have overcome adversity, people who are making a difference. And we're speaking first with the executive director of the Ventura College Foundation, Norbert Tan. Norbert, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate you taking the time, because I know you've been established since the early 80s, and the Phoenix Scholarships is what we are speaking about and what it does. And while this does apply to Ventura College, it's something that is fairly universal, because if folks or their communities don't have a program like this, obviously you're going to provide the inspiration for them to do something like this, because you are changing not only the lives of the recipients, but the people that they love, the people that they're going to be working with, and the autonomy that they're going to achieve from changing directions. So I'm really looking forward to our conversation.
Thank you so much, Maria, for having us this morning.
You're welcome. So let's talk about the Ventura College Foundation, your roots, and then let's get into the specifics of the Phoenix Scholarships. And then finally, we're going to be speaking with Scott, who's one of the recipients, and he's going to share his story with us today, too.
Sure. Thank you, Maria. Back in the 70s, everyone knows about Proposition 13 and what that did to higher education. And the 110 community colleges in California decided that, the state's not going to fund everything. Let's set up separate nonprofit foundations to support each of the colleges. And that's what happened as well at Ventura College. We formed a foundation in 1983 to raise funds to help students directly and also support our academic programs here at the college.
And so the foundation was established specifically to award scholarships, is that correct?
To award scholarships and also supplement programs at the college. For example, our nursing program, if we need additional equipment or if we need to purchase additional textbooks to loan out to students, those are the types of things that the foundation was created for. And we really support whatever the college's greatest needs are.
Great. So the Phoenix Scholarships, how long have they been around, and what is the qualifications, or how does one apply, and then how are they awarded?
Yeah, about 15 years, Maria. Our students, many of them are freshmen right out of high school, but we have the average age is 27 years old. So we have a lot of students that are returning to college after maybe starting a family or working out of high school, and it's much more challenging for these, what we call reentry returning students, to come back and juggle work, family, and school. And we created the Phoenix Scholarship to really support these students directly, especially those who've had some hardship in their lives and are really trying to turn the corner and come back and complete their higher education.
And do you do this annually?
We do. We do this annually, usually every spring. We also have a larger scholarship awards program later in May, where some of the Phoenix students may actually receive additional scholarships even after the ones they received this past week.
And what are the criteria, other than what you just mentioned about in general, maybe reentry students, maybe some hardships? Is there a checklist, like you give out X amount, or it's based on how much you have available and how many apply, or how does it work in terms of the distribution?
A little combination of both. Right now, through private fundraising, we have about $30,000 that's been raised every year to give out $1,000 scholarships to the Phoenix Scholarship recipients. Again, they are all returning students, so generally a little older. They've been at least a year or two out of high school, for example, but many are much older. And really, they are also applying it's merit-based. So we look at their academic record. We ask them to write a couple of essays as part of the scholarship application, and also to submit 2 letters of recommendation from either professors or folks in the workplace that could vouch for their success.
And if you get a scholarship once, does that preclude you from receiving it again?
No, we've had Phoenix scholarship recipients who've received scholarships a couple of years in a row, and as I mentioned earlier, in a month we'll also be awarding a larger amount of scholarships, about $300,000 worth of scholarships to over 200 students, and some of those will be part of the 32 students who receive Phoenix scholarships this year.
Well, that's substantial. $300,000 to over 200 students?
Yeah, it's wonderful. We've had a lot of folks in the community step up. We've had local corporations, whether it's Haas Automation or Limoneira, step up with endowing scholarship funds. A lot of our community members see the value of higher education and specifically community college. You know, we're seen as an asset to the community. Just like Community Memorial Hospital. I may not have gone to the hospital in years and years, but I believe it's an important asset, and I will, help support it. And people look at Ventura College in the same way. They may not have had a son or daughter or grandchild attend, but they know, it's in my backyard, and we're making lives better for our community. And so we get a lot of support for scholarships and some of the other programs we do.
Now, here's a disclaimer because it had nothing to do with my interest in speaking with you and with Scott. But one of my sons was a student at Ventura College, and he was able to successfully transfer to Cal State Northridge, where he's getting his Bachelor's of Music degree with an emphasis on composition. And he could not speak highly enough of the faculty and the staff and the passion, and also the depth of professionalism that the professors there have, and that was in the music program. So that's just a shout out to to the family experience.
Yeah, and we actually have one of the best music programs in the area. And as you know, with our visual arts program, a lot of the visual artists that you see in Ventura County, they all actually started out of Ventura College. We have a lot of heavyweights in the arts world that actually came out of Ventura College, or they're currently professors. But it's, I'm glad you mentioned your son's situation. It's very typical. Nowadays, I went to UC Berkeley, and I remember the first 2 years I'm in a lecture hall with 700 students, and then being taught by a graduate student a couple of years older than myself. Whereas at Ventura College, you're usually with a professor who has an advanced degree. You're with 25 students, and especially for the younger students, it's a chance for them to get their act together. I mean, I've talked to so many parents who said, Sally's just not ready to go to Cal State Fresno. She just needs to kind of get her act together, learn how to study, and then transfer for the third and fourth year. And oftentimes we have arrangements with the Cal State's UCs and other area universities where it's actually easier for junior transfers to get into a 4-year than a freshman out of high school, because you're showing Cal State Northridge that you have a track record for success, right? Because your son actually did 2 years and showed a level of success before transferring out, whereas they're taking a gamble on high school freshmen all the time.
And what was interesting about Northridge is that not only did he have to audition, but he had to bring a portfolio of his compositions, and they only chose 8 undergraduate students, and he was one of the 8. So I mean, it really does speak to what he learned and gained and gleaned from what it is, the roots that you created for him. So I'm grateful for that. Thank you.
Right. And you saved a few dollars as well. We hear,
yes.
In these economic times, the math of higher education, it's mind-boggling for parents. So instead of paying $40,000-$50,000 a year for a private 4-year university, they could actually save $80,000 to $100,000 if the student starts off at a community college and transfers successfully to a 4-year.
So Norbert, before we speak to Scott, can you give us a couple of other stories about this year's Phoenix Scholarship recipients, and then we'll speak with Scott directly about his story.
Sure. One of the interesting things is our MC for the Phoenix Scholarship reception was Judge Colleen Toy White, and she herself was a reentry student and went to Ventura College of Law after doing community college at Ventura College. And what was funny is we had 4 of our 30 students come up to the podium and express thanks to all of us, but also thanking Judge White, whom they had seen, on the other side in a courthouse. And it was amazing to see the transformation. And it was really moving to many of us in the audience to see, certain students who were basically in front of the judge, coming out of jail or going to jail or doing something not so great. And then, fast forward a few years later, they're in front of her receiving an academic scholarship.
That's poetic and poignant. How fabulous. And she is an inspiration. I've met her professionally at various events, and it's like I didn't know that backstory either. So talk about a homegrown success case, huh?
Terrific.
Anything else you'd like to add, Norbert?
I think that's it. It's great we could have Scott here to tell you his story.
And I'm looking forward to it. Norbert Tan is the executive director of the Ventura College Foundation. On the other side of this conversation, we're going to be speaking with Scott. Stay tuned. Thank you for listening to the Maria Sanchez Show.
You're listening to the Maria Sanchez Show on mariasanchezshow.com.
Welcome back to the Maria Sanchez Show. Again, thank you so much for joining us. We have a special two-part episode, if you will, regarding the Ventura College Foundation and their Phoenix Scholarship awardees, which was last week, 32 adults. They decided to return to school at Ventura College to achieve their career goals. Next month, Norbert just shared with us that there's going to be more scholarships awarded, over $300,000 to over 200 students. A part of the 110 community colleges in California, the Ventura College Foundation helps with scholarships and it supplements programs at the college as well. And now we have Scott, who's one of the 32 recipients, joining us. Scott, welcome to the program and thank you for sharing your story. I really appreciate you taking the time and for opening the window to us about one of the recipients and what it can do and what it might do and how it has impacted your life. So hi.
Hi, and you're welcome and thank you for having me.
So give us a little background about your life before you went back to Ventura College or before you attended Ventura College. What is it that you have done and what is your profession?
It started back in 1982 when I entered Moorpark College, and I completed quite a few classes but didn't do very well. So I decided to work full time, and because I love working. So I did that for the next 25, 30 years, and always had just a few classes left to get a degree. So it was always on my mind to come back to college. Well, after a few knee surgeries, I thought I should probably change careers because I want to work for quite a while still. And it was about time to go back to school and get that degree. And there was quite a few other struggles and problems along the way, but this was a good time to do it. And so I checked into Ventura College, spoke with a counselor, and set up an academic plan, and here I am.
So what was it about what you did is that what required the knee surgeries, or the knee surgeries were necessary and it didn't allow you to continue to doing what you were doing?
I do carpet and tile work, and it took its toll. Just being on my knees a lot caused problems with my knees, and I can only do it so long. And I think it's a good idea to change careers here. So this is what I want to do. I want to become a teacher, and I'll be entering CSUCI here in the fall, and looking forward to it.
And so you're going to transfer to Cal State University Channel Islands, and you're going to get your degree in what?
I want to get my degree in liberal studies for teaching, with a teaching credential in math and sciences.
Wow.
Yeah.
How's that brain working at this stage? I can't imagine being a student again and that demanding.
Yeah, it was a little slow at first, I got to admit, but it picked up. I'm doing real good. Actually, it's competitive for me to go out there and try to do great on a test, and I think I'm a lot better student than I used to be, and I've learned to be more organized, more prepared, and not wait to the last minute to study. All those things that pay off. So, and my kids are doing a lot better seeing me. I'd like to think I'm a good example for them, but they've improved along the way too.
So you're a father, Scott?
I'm a father.
And how many children?
I've got 4 kids, 2 off to 4-year universities, and 2 just entered high school. They're 9th graders, and they're they're going to be graduating high school probably around the same time I'll be graduating from with my teaching credential. It'll be another 3 years.
So at the Cal State University Channel Islands program, you get your bachelor's degree and then you get your teaching credential?
Correct. Teaching credential comes after the bachelor's degree.
And are you a full-time student, or how have you juggled like life and family and
Well, yeah,
overhead?
that's it. I'm in between 9 and 12, 13 units. Right now I have 9, so I'm sometimes a classified full-time student, other times part-time. It all depends on how it works out. And my first priority obviously is with my kids. I have them 24/7, and that's being there for them is my most important goal or my most important job. And then
Are you a single dad?
I'm a single dad. We ran into trouble with my marriage about 4 years ago. I had to take a break, make a break for it pretty much from there, and start from scratch. And we had to actually enter a transitional living center 4 years ago, and that changed things a lot. So I'm not used to being a single dad, so this was an adjustment, and things are going pretty good as far as just us all concentrating on school and doing well.
And is their mother around?
Their mother's not. Their mother's in England. She was deported to England about 3.5 years ago.
Yikes.
Yeah.
So that is a huge challenge.
Yeah, she's doing a lot better there, and the kids have been back there once to spend a month or so with her. And yeah, it's actually a lot better just to not have the drama and the problems I had before. So we're all doing pretty good. The kids are off to a great start at their high school, and I still work. I work, take care of them, and take care of my schoolwork. So it keeps us all pretty much grounded. We're all in the same boat.
No time to get in trouble.
Exactly.
My children were 2, 4, 6, and 8 when their father and I divorced, and so I've raised them on my own as well. And I can appreciate what you're going through, but somehow I think being a mother, it came more naturally to me. So I can imagine how difficult that transition might have been for you. But it sounds like everything's smoothly operating. Of course, life has its own plan sometimes.
Yeah, it does. And like I said, we're all in the same boat. We're all going to school. We're all doing the best we can. We have a lot of fun together, and we keep everything pretty grounded and simple, and stay out of trouble. Like you said, we're doing all right.
So what does the Phoenix Scholarship Award mean to you? How does that help you personally?
It helps me so much. First of all, I'm going to be paying a little more in tuition starting in the fall, and this takes a lot of the load off there, and it also means a lot because it's nice to be selected out of so many applicants. I mean, there must have been hundreds. They said it was a huge year, and to be one of the 32 that got picked, and if you'd have seen the other recipients speak, they were all well accomplished and deserving too. So I'm honored that they chose me.
Well, congratulations. And then are you up for one of the scholarships next month?
I'm not sure how that works. This is the first time I've ever applied for a scholarship. This is the first time I've really needed money, knowing that I'm going to be paying tuition in the fall. So we'll see how that works out. But
well, good. I'd like to tag back with the story. No pressure, however, Scott, because obviously what you're doing is exemplary and you're very inspirational. I'm so proud that we've had this opportunity to speak. And is there anything else you'd like to add?
Just that I'd love to pay it forward someday. I'd love to help out people, students with math, and I look forward to that. I really look forward to the opportunity. That's why I'm doing it also, is to help out and to be to do something important.
Well, thank you. And again, it's the Phoenix Scholarships. The website is venturacollege.edu/foundation. Thank you to both Norbert Tan and Scott, one of the 32 recipients of the Phoenix Scholarships. Thank you so much for listening to the Maria Sanchez Show, hoping you're making a difference in our world as these folks have been as well.
Talking, so call Maria, her show is killer. You won't believe it, darling. listeners and first-time callers. They love Maria, that's why they keep saying, and we're gonna get loud, but we're gonna get close. She's here and she's going strong. Maria Sanchez, this is a show, darling. She'll give you something to talk about. She's gonna